So we have discussed the basic equation of the graph, which is y equal to sine x and y equal to cos x. However, now let us go deeper into general equation of a graph. In general equation of a graph, now the equation of the graph is y equal to a sine bx minus c. Okay, while for cos is y equal to a cos bx minus c. You realize that we have put in all of the constant here, a, b, and c. Okay, so what does a stands for? Okay, we have a in front of the function, so this a stands for amplitude. So amplitude, the formula is modulus a. So this tells us how much is the height of our graph. In basic graph, your a here is equal to 1. That's why the amplitude here is 1 and also minus 1. However, after this, you may see that we'll have different number for your amplitude. So if your amplitude is 2, therefore the height is 2, the highest point and the lowest point is minus 2. Now let's see the next one is period. So in basic graph, the period is 1 cycle. Okay, so how about this general equation of the graph? What is the period? Period with symbol t is equal to 2 pi over modulus b. Okay, so where does b comes from? This is your b, this is the coefficient of your x. So in basic graph, y is your period is equal to 2 pi because your b coefficient in front of x is equal to 1. Therefore, the period 2 pi over b, 2 pi over 1 is equal to 2 pi. However, after this, you may find that you have different coefficient of x. Therefore, just take the value and make it modulus, so the period will be 2 pi over modulus b. Next one is phase shift. Okay, what is phase shift? Phase shift is the x coordinate. Where do you want to start the graph in one cycle? Okay, so the graph is sinusoidal, it is never ending graph. However, we may rate our phase shift, which is where do we want to define our one period of graph. So the formula is c over b. You don't need to memorize this, you just take whatever you have inside the bracket here and then solve for it. Okay, let me show you. Inside this bracket here is bx minus c. So bx minus c, you just solve this, make it equal to 0 and then solve for x. X is equal to c over b. That's why this is your phase shift formula, which is c over b. So you can see here, phase shift, the formula is c over b. Now let's see the next one, which is the subinterval. Okay, I have mentioned to you in the basic graph of sine here or the basic graph of cos, you may have 4 subintervals. All right, so each of them, the value, the length is pi over 2. So starting from 0, 0 plus pi over 2 is pi over 2, plus another pi over 2, this is pi, plus another pi over 2, this is 3 pi over 2, plus another pi over 2, it is 2 pi. So this will end at the last period. So what is actually the formula for subinterval? The formula for subinterval is t over 4. So the whole period, you just divide it by 4. So now let us revisit your basic graph. Why does the subinterval is pi over 4? Because let's calculate subinterval is equal to t over 4. So now the period is 2 pi. So 2 pi over 4 is equal to pi over 2. So that's why the subinterval of the basic graph, it is equal to pi over 2 for each part here. However, after this, you may find different period. Therefore, you may find its subinterval. Just take the period, divide by 4.